A lot of people often reminisce about the good old days and say that times were better back then than they are now. This was once reserved for old people as they look back fondly at their days as children, where in their eyes times were better. Of course, nostalgia blinds you to the reality that the world has always and will always suck. While this complaining used to be saved until you hit the age of about 50, you can now find children on the internet complaining about how Fortnite was better 5 years ago than it is now. And I'm one of them. It's very common nowadays for people to say that video games used to be better, with Fortnite usually being the most popular example. The claim that OG Fortnite is better than modern Fortnite is usually just combated by saying you're nostalgia blind. In this video though, I'm going to argue that a lot of games have actually gotten worse over the years, and it's not just the nostalgia talking. In its peak around 2018, I barely touched Fortnite. I played a little bit during season 4 and 5, but for no more than a couple of games each. For as long as Fortnite has been around, I would play a little bit and then forget about the game for months. It wasn't really until the lockdowns that I actually played it more often since, well, what else was I gonna do? From the beginning, I always found Fortnite to be very hit or miss. I found some seasons to be great, I'd play for hours. I loved playing during the Alien season, the Spider-Man season, the Mandalorian season, the Deadpool season. Okay, I'm just now realizing how reliant Fortnite is on massive IPs. As much as I loved these seasons, there were also plenty of seasons that I barely touched. I tried to get into just about every season, but some I just couldn't enjoy, and as time progressed, the seasons got worse and worse in my opinion. But hey, you know what? Maybe I was just bored of the game, right? Maybe I was just burnt out. But then they brought back Fortnite OG, and of course I tried it out, and I loved it. Here's the thing though, I didn't have any nostalgia for Fortnite OG. Like I said, I barely touched Fortnite in the early seasons, so I had zero attachment to it. But I was hooked on Fortnite OG. This was absolutely a huge nostalgia blast for many players, don't get me wrong, but I love Fortnite OG for the fact that it was genuinely just more fun than previous seasons had been. The reason for this, I believe, is just because of its simplicity. There were no insane weapons or vehicles, no items that would just give you free wins. The map itself was easy to traverse, not convoluted. There were no bullshit NPCs that kill you before you can even find another player. The game was simply better this way, so you would think with the massive spike in players that came with Fortnite OG, Epic Games would choose to keep the game mode, right? Nope. When the next season came along, Epic made some massive changes to the game. They added many new game modes, traversal methods, a lot. But they removed Fortnite OG. I tried. I really tried to enjoy the season that followed, but I just couldn't. I honestly found myself playing Fortnite Festival more than the Battle Royale. It's pretty clear that Fortnite got a lot less popular after they removed OG, so why not just bring it back? I do think that adding new stuff to the game and consistently updating it is very important for a game like Fortnite. They can't just give us OG and call it a day, because the game would die out. So what I suggest is that they simply make Fortnite OG its own game mode. Have the main Battle Royale as they have it right now, with all the insane weapons, mechanics, items, vehicles, so on. Have that as the main game mode. Then, like how they added Fortnite Festival and LEGO Fortnite as additional game modes, make Fortnite OG an additional game mode. Hell, if they want to incentivize people to play the main game mode and not just Fortnite OG, maybe make it so you can only do challenges in the main Battle Royale, and Fortnite OG is more so for fun. I don't really see any downside to this. Epic has been saying they're going to bring back Fortnite OG for months, but it's been over half a year since Fortnite OG was removed from the game and nothing has happened. Unlike with Fortnite, I do actually have lots of nostalgia for older versions of Minecraft. This fact could sway my view quite a bit, but I still think that I'm right in saying that Minecraft used to be better, but probably not in the way you're thinking. A lot of people say Minecraft was better when it was simple, and they've added too much. Honestly though, I kinda disagree with this. While I do think a lot of the recent updates have been pretty meh, they don't really affect the core gameplay. Adding things like the wardens, armadillos, pandas, they're cool things, but I've literally never encountered any of these mobs in regular survival. The updates that Minecraft adds nowadays are kind of pointless. It seems that the developers are too scared to make big leaps for fear of scaring away old players by changing the game too much, so they simply add small additions so that you can use it if you want, but if not, they're easily ignored. What made the older updates so great was the fact that the new additions would actually affect your gameplay. For example, adding the piston was a game changer. You didn't need to use a piston, no, but if you did, it could drastically impact your worlds. Being able to move blocks from the flick of a switch has led to some incredible creations. Adding fossils to the game more recently, I mean, yeah, it's cool, I guess, but it won't ever impact the rest of your world. It's kind of just another thing that you can do. But ultimately, Minecraft itself is still the same. Yeah, there's been some pointless updates, but the game itself is the exact same at its core. My issue with Minecraft is not so much the updates, but rather the bedrock version of the game. See, Minecraft used to be very divided. You have the Java edition on computers, the Pocket edition for mobile, and the Legacy edition for consoles. I, like many, grew up on the Legacy version, and it's easily my favorite version of the game. It ran incredibly smoothly, felt very polished, and while it was nowhere near advanced as the Java edition, it executed what it needed to do very very gracefully. With how divided the game was, and with so many different versions, Mojang created the Bedrock edition of the game, which would be available on all platforms to allow for crossplay. This sounded like a great idea. Unfortunately, it was a mess. See, mobile phones can't run a game like Minecraft as effectively as a computer or console can, so the Pocket Edition was a very simplistic, dumbed-down version. And it worked fine for a mobile game. But in order to have an iPhone and an Xbox play together, it meant they both had to be running the same game. So, console and PC had to be given dumbed-down versions so that they could play with mobile devices. And God, does it suck. Bedrock is slow, buggy, unresponsive. The menus are a pain to navigate and take forever to load, even on a high-powered PC or a PS5. The gameplay itself is often glitchy, slow, which has famously led to people dying and losing progress out of their control. What makes it all worse is that you have to play this version. The Legacy Edition was discontinued, so if you want to play the new updates, you either need a powerful enough PC to run Java, or you gotta suck it up and play Bedrock. I definitely understand why Mojang went this route. Minecraft is a huge game, and it makes sense to be able to unite everyone, but this just wasn't the best way of doing it in my opinion. What I think they should have done is simply isolated the Pocket Edition and united all other versions of the game. Use the Legacy engine for crossplay between all the consoles, since every console was using this version anyway, and then simply port this version over to PC. Now, yes, I could be a bit nostalgia blind to the Legacy Edition. I grew up in this version, but I still think it's the most consistently good and accessible version of the game. Bedrock, while being available on all devices, is really buggy and slow. Java is objectively the best version, but like I said, it tends to have performance issues unless you're using mods or you're playing on a relatively powerful PC. That and multiplayer is a huge pain on Java. Legacy didn't have anywhere near as much as Java does, but it did what it needed to do well. Multiplayer was easy, the game rarely had performance issues, and any bugs that were in the game were usually pretty hard to find and weren't game-breaking. Legacy felt like a complete game that was worth my money, whereas Bedrock kinda just feels like a ripoff. You can still play the Legacy Edition online, but that's only if you've previously owned it. This version is no longer available for purchase, only the Bedrock version is. So if you have friends who never got to buy the game until more recently, they can't play Legacy, only Bedrock. While I feel like Fortnite and Minecraft are definitely the most popular examples of games that kinda went downhill over time, there are absolutely other games that I want to talk about. The other games that I have in mind though, I'm gonna save for the next video coming out 1 week today. So if you want to see that video, the link will be in the description once it's out, and it should also be showing up on screen right now, I hope. I mean, we'll see. Yeah. Okay, I'm rambling, so just like, yeah.